Hey guys, welcome back to A Word on the Water with Eric and Kenny. I am so excited about this subject, and I'm excited for a couple of reasons. It deals with music. We're both music guys. We sing, travel all over the country, and I'm also excited because I'm not the one that has to teach this.
I'm excited.
You're welcome. Music war in the church. Listen. It's been said that in the last 50 years, more churches have split over music style than anything else.
Sad, sad, sad.
Sad, sad, sad. There's a battle over traditional versus contemporary. And Eric, the music war in church, what's up with it?
I'm just going to read a verse here. I want you to listen to this. Oh, sing, this is Psalms 96. Oh, sing to the Lord an old song. No, wait, that's not what it says. It says, oh, sing to the Lord a new song.
New song.
Sing to the Lord all the heaven, all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bless his name, proclaim the good news of his salvation from day to day. The Bible basically says several times, sing a new song. Sing a new song. Now, look, this is a subject that shouldn't even be a subject.
Right.
The war in church is ridiculous to start with. Music wars, man, I don't even know when it started. Years and years and years and years, probably hundreds of years ago. But as each generation comes around, they want their own musical styles, and that's okay. That's all right. We got this thing called hymns versus praise and worship, and it's just bickering back and forth and going on with each other. It's ridiculous. Right now, as we're talking, somebody's complaining about their music in the church.
And they're disagreeing with us.
Exactly, probably. But Kenny, I like the hymns.
I do
love
too.
hymns.
Some of them are very, very, very rich in theology. And
Hey, you know what else I like?
What?
The new music.
Me too.
I like the new stuff. I like the old stuff. I like the new stuff. Right quick, let me define a hymn for you. You know what a hymn is?
Go ahead, I think, but
I asked one of my good friends this week, Gerald Wolf. I said, Gerald has what they call hymn sings. He travels all over the country with a lot of different groups, and they do it with such excellence that it's amazing. Hymn sing. And they do it in a way it should be done. They worship, man. It's just incredible. I've been a part of it. It's awesome. But a hymn, I asked him. I said, Gerald, what is a hymn? Is it a song that's, sung horizontal, like singing about Jesus, and a worship song is sung vertical and singing to Jesus? Well, that's not right, because there's vertical songs in a hymn.
Mm-hmm.
How great thou art. You're singing to Jesus, to God. Great is thy faithfulness. Singing to God. Is a hymn a song that's just great, so they put it in the hymnal? No, because there's some really questionable theological songs in the hymn book.
Some with no biblical basis at all.
So what makes a hymn? And this is what Gerald said. He said a hymn is actually a song, technically, this is what a hymn is a song that doesn't have a chorus or a refrain. In other words, it doesn't repeat. Like Amazing Grace, hymn. Silent Night, hymn. A newer song in Christ alone, hymn.
So every verse, what you're saying is, there's really not a chorus.
There's really not a chorus.
It's just a verse, new verse,
Yes.
new verse.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
That's what he said, and then we know that there's a lot of songs with choruses in the hymnal,
Right.
but those are called gospel songs.
Right.
So there's got gospel songs and you got hymns, both in the hymnal. And so we talked about that a little bit, and even the Old Rugged Cross is a gospel song because it has a chorus, that you sing over. But what is all the fuss? Why do people get so upset over the style of music in their church? Do we have to do it the way it's always been done? Is our style better than your style? Is our church, the way we do it, is it better than the way you do it?
Let me ask you a
Is
question.
it more right?
Yeah.
Is there a wrong way to worship?
Let me ask you a question. Why, some people in the church, why is it okay for them to listen to a style of music outside the church, but if you bring it inside the church, it's wrong?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think, I think it's, you're talking about, of course, Christian music of some
Yeah,
kind.
yeah. What I'm saying is this. Yeah, I'm talking about a sound because it's all about a sound. You take Amazing Grace, for example. You can sing, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. You go, Amazing Grace. You could sing Amazing Grace 50 different ways. You know what I'm saying? Why, why are some people?
You ever heard Amazing Grace sung to Gilligan's Island too? Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved the world. You heard that?
That's what I'm saying. So let me ask you this. Okay, you brought this up. Why would some people watch Gilligan's Island and sing sing that song?
Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound.
Not Amazing Grace.
Like me.
But then if you sing Amazing Grace like that in church, you're going to hell.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I want to say this really quick. I love the hymns. I love the hymns. I was raised on hymns. I love gospel music. I was raised on gospel music. But I also love the new stuff. And one of the biggest reasons why is because our pastor, youth pastor at First Baptist Church, his name's Scott Carter. I just want to give a shout out to him. He was one of the greatest men I ever knew. Loved my kids. Taught them Jesus. Taught them how to worship. And I walked in on them one night, and they were worshiping. They had both arms up, both hands up, worshiping the Lord. I was like, man, if they're going to like it, I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
And I learned to like it.
Yeah.
And so, let me just say this really quick, and let me help you with something really quick. There's 10,080 minutes in a week. Think about that. 10,080 minutes in a week. And if your church does usually about 20 minutes worth of worship, let's say they do 20 minutes worth of the new stuff and you just don't like it. That means you have 10,060 minutes during the rest of the week to listen to what you want to. I mean, if your church does hymns and you're like, man, I just don't like hymns. Listen, 20 minutes worth of hymns. That means you have 10,060 minutes worth of minutes in the rest of the week to listen to whatever you want to listen to. And so this whole getting angry or getting mad or continually talking about it or continually bashing the pastors or the worship pastors for bringing a new song in or gossiping or yeah, it's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And so I'm going to say this, man. If you don't like what your church is doing, I mean, instead of complaining about it, I mean, instead of just griping about it, just find a new place.
Yeah.
It's very simple. If that's not the church for you, I'm sure that church will help you find a new church.
Well, I think what we got to understand too is this: is there is a difference in personal preference and doctrine.
Yeah.
Some people really believe. For some people, it's not just that they don't like contemporary music; they think it's wrong.
Yeah, that's my point. Yes.
They think it's wrong. So,
contemporary music. What does the word contemporary mean?
something new.
What?
Exactly.
You mean it's not something demonic?
Yeah. I mean,
I
don't
mean the
get
word
it.
contemporary just means something new.
That's exactly what it means.
Wow. That's
So,
crazy.
so here's the
I'd
thing.
never thunk it.
We got to understand there is a difference in personal preference and doctrine. Listen, it is okay to like what you like. I like what I like, right? I went out to eat before with some people to get some seafood. I've tried calamari. I don't like it, okay? But I'm not going to look at the guy across the table and say, "How dare you eat that stuff?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, listen, it's okay to like what you like, but if your church splits because you made your opinion known about the music and you said it's either my way or the highway, something's wrong in here.
Mm-hmm.
Something is really, really wrong in here because we're not all going to like the same things. And,
Amen.
and let me tell you something, man. You know what a lot of people in this country need to do? They need to go to a third world country. They need to go to a village somewhere in Africa. And they need to go where they literally constructed a place of worship
That don't have air conditioning.
that don't even have
Don't have
walls.
padded pews.
They've got a cover. They don't have walls. Guess what they don't have? They might be going to hell because they don't have a piano.
I doubt it.
But
Yeah.
we need to, it needs to be about him and not about us.
Yeah. A little more like Jesus and a little less like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, is that a song?
I think it is. Matter of fact, you
I've
do
heard it.
and
It's
I
not
love
that
it.
good.
I love the song. I know churches right now that do hymns and do them very well. They do them with excellence.
Me too.
And they have really good preaching and biblical preaching, biblical hymns. And I'm telling you, man, they're growing and going crazy.
Yeah.
Loving Jesus, and people want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I also know other churches like Connect Church, my home church, that is doing the new style of music, contemporary music or praise and worship music, great preaching, and we're growing like crazy. Most of the time, if there's just a lot of complaining, you'll find a church that's not growing.
Right.
If it's growing, you can't argue with success a lot of times.
Yeah.
But I want to just really quick tell you just a few things that John MacArthur said. He was interviewed by a gentleman named Phil Johnson, and he was interviewed about this contemporary worship style or whatever. And he actually said, man, that every generation of believers in the history of the church has had music that was consistent with that generation. He said, we're not locked into a minimalist kind of hymns with simple 4/4 time, as you know, used to be the staple of church. Every generation has style changes, and I think to throw away anything just because it's new is to miss the point altogether. Every generation needs to express its worship in ways that it's familiar with and comfortable with. So John MacArthur, even, suit wearing, tie wearing, old-fashioned, ultra-conservative, incredible pastor, incredible preacher. Even John MacArthur says, man, hey, listen, it's okay to sing a new song. It's okay to sing a new song. And the new songs aren't wrong just because they're new. And that's the problem.
All right, here we go. Are you ready? You have 1 minute, okay? So this is how I want you to finish this. You got 1 minute, okay? A person at your church, or a church, let's just say your church, a person at your church is struggling to get past the music world. They come to Eric Bennett. They say, Eric, I don't want to feel this way. I want to be a peacemaker. I don't want to leave all the time been out of shape. Help me. You have 1 minute. Tell that person what they need to know.
Well, I mean, honestly, I would say, first of all, pray about it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say pray about it. And go to God and just say, God, am I missing something? Is there something here that, maybe I need to see? Is there words to these songs that I could really use in my life? And you know what? Everybody's in different places. You may not, if you're 50, you may not be where a 30-year-old is. If you're, 25, you're not where a 60-year-old is. So, outside of that, I would say, if I just could not get past it, I might just find another place to worship. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. Whether it's you're doing the hymns, you don't like those, so you're going to a new place, or whether you're doing the new stuff and you don't like that, so you're going where they sing hymn. Just be a peacemaker when it comes to that. I mean, all of them should honor and glorify God and lift Him up, and let's make much of Jesus, less of us, and more of Jesus.
Okay. But what if they looked at you and said, Alabama is a terrible football team?
I'd call them a liar. because we all know better. And I'd say roll tide.
Bro, no, go Vols.
I'd
There
say
you go.
roll tide.
Hey, it's more like Jesus, less like me. Amen. See you next time.